Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day to sit down with a warm cup of coffee and dive into the latest drama unfolding in our favorite town, because there is so much to talk about and I simply cannot wait to share it all with you. I have been watching Laura Collins carry the weight of Port Charles on her shoulders for what feels like a lifetime, and my heart just goes out to her right now. As our beloved mayor, she has faced down mobsters, villains, and every kind of disaster imaginable with such grace and strength. But even the strongest women need a moment to breathe, and Laura is desperately in need of a break. She is currently packing her bags and preparing for a deeply personal trip across the ocean to Dublin, Ireland. Her main goal, of course, is to reconnect with her husband, Kevin Collins, and to bring sweet little Ace Cassadine back home where he belongs. As a mother and a grandmother myself, I completely understand that fierce, undeniable pull to gather your flock and make sure your family is safe and sound under one roof. But leaving Port Charles is never a simple matter of just locking the door and catching a flight. The city needs a leader, and Laura finds herself in a very tricky position because she needs to appoint a deputy mayor to take the reins while she is away. It has been over a year since Jordan Ashford stepped down from that very position. I still remember when Jordan left the office to go on that dangerous undercover mission, putting her life on the line to expose Jen Sidwell and his criminal network. Since that day, Laura has never officially hired another deputy mayor to fill Jordan's shoes. Now, with Laura's departure looming, the halls of the mayor's office are buzzing with anxiety. I can just picture Anna Devane and Justine Turner pacing the floors, wringing their hands, and wondering who on earth is going to step up and keep the city from falling apart during Laura's absence. In a move that completely caught me off guard, but also makes perfect sense when you really think about it, Laura has decided to appoint Ezra Boyle as her temporary deputy mayor. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Ezra is a man with a complicated history, to say the least. But Laura has always been a woman who looks past a person's mistakes to see the potential for good inside their heart. She and Ezra actually developed quite a close and unexpected friendship recently. They bonded over a shared nightmare, as both of them found themselves caught in the terrifying web of Jen Sidwell's blackmail schemes. Going through something that traumatic can forge a very strong connection between two people, and Laura truly believes that Ezra understands the inner workings of Port Charles and the needs of its voters better than anyone else available right now. I have always admired Laura's boundless capacity for forgiveness. She is not the kind of woman to sit on a high horse and judge someone for their past sins, especially as long as they are willing to own up to them and try to do better. Heaven knows, our dear Laura has lived a life full of her own messy, complicated chapters, and she has never claimed to have a spotless past herself. She looks at Ezra and sees a man who is trying to turn a new leaf. In her mind, she is leaving the city in capable, understanding hands. She honestly believes that things will not be too complicated or difficult for Ezra to manage while she is in Dublin. Laura's sense of security comes from the fact that the biggest threat to their peace of mind is currently locked away behind bars. Jen Sidwell is sitting in a prison cell, and all of his ill-gotten assets are scheduled to be auctioned off in the coming week. With the monster safely in a cage, Laura assumes the dust has settled. She is packing her bags with a hopeful heart, thinking that Ezra will have a smooth, uneventful run as acting mayor, but oh my goodness, how many times have we seen this exact scenario play out? It is like watching a train wreck in slow motion, and I just want to reach through the screen and warn her. As we all know, in a place like Port Charles, you should never, ever say never. The past has a funny way of refusing to stay buried, and Ezra's past is no exception. While Laura might be willing to look the other way, there are people sitting in offices even higher than the mayor's who are fully aware of Ezra's unsavory history. The shadows of his previous misdeeds are still lingering, and they are threatening to swallow up this temporary peace. It just sends shivers down my spine to think about the kind of leverage certain people might have over him, and how quickly this seemingly smart political appointment could turn into an absolute nightmare for the entire city. What truly has me on the edge of my seat, though, is the fact that two very specific residents of Port Charles are holding on to a massive, explosive secret regarding Ezra. Both Drew Kane and Willow Kane are fully aware of Ezra's dark, complicated past connection to Jacinda Bracken. Just hearing Jacinda's name brings a whole new level of tension to the story. I cannot help but wonder how long Drew and Willow have been sitting on this information, just waiting for the perfect moment to use it. Knowing that these two hold the key to Ezra's downfall makes me incredibly nervous, because neither of them is in a particularly stable or forgiving place in their lives right now. Let us talk about Drew Kane for a moment. Lately, Drew has been acting so rigid and controlling, especially when it comes to his daughter Scout and her budding teenage romance. He is a man who likes to hold all the cards and dictate how things are going to go. If Drew decides that Ezra's presence in the mayor's office is a threat, or if he simply sees a way to use this scandal to his own advantage, he will not hesitate to blow the whistle. Drew knows exactly how damaging the truth about Ezra and Jacinda could be, and I can easily see him using this secret as a weapon to get exactly what he wants, no matter who gets hurt in the crossfire. Then there is sweet, troubled Willow Kane. My heart just aches for her these days. She is feeling so suffocated by Michael's strict rules since moving back to the Quartermain estate, and we are already seeing her start to act out and make reckless, dangerous choices. A woman who feels backed into a corner is a very unpredictable thing. If Willow feels the need to lash out, or if she somehow thinks that exposing Ezra will create a distraction from her own messy life, she might just drop this bombshell without a second thought. Both Drew and Willow have the power to destroy Ezra's temporary reign, and it all comes down to who has the biggest motive to stir the pot. The tragic irony of all this is that nobody actually expects Ezra to replace Laura permanently. He is just a placeholder, a seat warmer until our mayor returns. But if this scandal breaks while he is in charge, the fallout is not just going to ruin Ezra. It is going to splash directly onto Laura Collins. She is the one who vouched for him. She is the one who put her own hard-earned reputation on the line to give him this job. If Ezra is exposed for his past with Jacinda Bracken, the citizens of Port Charles are going to question Laura's judgment. It breaks my heart to think that her legacy could be tarnished by a scandal that she unwittingly set in motion just because she wanted to see the good in a friend. And while all this political danger is brewing back home, my heart absolutely shatters when I think about what is waiting for Laura in Dublin. We have all been hoping for a beautiful, romantic reunion between her and Kevin. But the whispers and predictions from Soap Opera Digest are pointing toward an absolute tragedy. Kevin's excuse of needing to stay in Ireland for an extended semester has always felt a little off to me, and it seems my worst fears are about to come true. The summer spoilers are hinting that Laura's trip is going to end in utter devastation, with her long-standing, beautiful marriage to Kevin finally crumbling to pieces. I can hardly bear the thought of Laura walking into that situation completely unaware of the heartbreak that is about to hit her. Whether Kevin has been hiding a secret affair or whether he simply wants a divorce, the pain is going to be unimaginable. We have watched Laura and Kevin build such a wonderful life together, supporting each other through madness and mayhem. To see it end like this, in a cold, distant country, is just too sad for words. I am already preparing myself for the tears, because watching Jeannie Francis play out that kind of profound, life-altering heartbreak is going to be incredibly moving and painful to witness. If there is one small, fragile silver lining in this impending storm, it is the hope that Laura will at least be able to bring little Ace Cassadine back home with her. That precious little boy is a beacon of light, and I know that Laura's grandmotherly love for him is one of the strongest forces in her life. Having Ace in her arms might be the only thing that keeps her from completely falling apart when her marriage to Kevin dissolves. She is going to need all the love and comfort she can get, and bringing that sweet child back to Port Charles will give her a reason to keep putting one foot in front of the other during her darkest days. But the true disaster is what awaits her upon her return. The new storylines are heavily suggesting that Ezra is not just going to quietly step down when his time is up. Instead, He is poised to deliver a massive shock to the city, setting off a major disaster that will shake Port Charles to its very core. I can see it now. Laura stepping off the plane, her heart completely shattered from the loss of her marriage, only to find her beloved city in absolute chaos because of the man she trusted to protect it. It is going to be a season of profound grief, shocking betrayals, and incredible drama, and I will be right here holding my breath and watching every single second of it with all of you.